Yeah, we've seen a little bit of handle come in on Indiana State, and I understand why. But to me, the point total is what fascinates me the most. I mean, Indiana State just played a 101-92 game against SMU last week. And since he's kind of coming off a couple grinders, right? They played Bradley, who ironically plays in this Missouri Valley Conference. We watched them in the tournament. They're kind of the defensive-minded team. And also San Francisco, who's a really good defensive team that likes to slow it down. Cincinnati's been kind of all over the map this year with their offense. But I will say this, that Sycamore's defense is what really scares me in this game. Outside the top 130 in Torvik over the last month, I think Cincinnati has a couple of scorers. The Lukosius kid from Lithuania, 13 for 23 from deep in the two NIT games. And obviously we know Indiana State can score. They're a top 20 offense. So I think over 154.5 is how I would play this game.
All right, Brad, word on the street is that you really love your play in this one. So much that you're bringing the energy.
Oh, say hello to my little friend. Daddy what? Daddy needs. Daddy gotta have it. I am indeed sledgehammering Larry Nerd and company in this one, guys. I love Indiana State. I'm going to lay the chalk. I grabbed it -2.5 last night. You already seen it jump to -3.5, and it is entirely warranted. This may be the biggest game in Holman Center history this century at 10,000 strong. Going to fill up the stands there in Terre Haute, and they're going to cheer on an astronomical offensive juggernaut that is Indiana State. They're number 2 in all of college basketball this month, an effective field goal percentage offense. I agree with Jared. There's some susceptibilities defensively, but Cincinnati is not going to match them bucket for bucket. Robbie Avila and friends are going to be tearing up the nets in this one. So as a result, hammer it home with the Sycamores, who are going to climb high and get closer to the NIT Final Four up the road in Indy.
All right, Brad, I love that, man. I love it so much that I'm doubling down with you on this one. So we're sledgehammering this, and we're also doubling down because, one, this is going to be a home game for Indiana State, as I mentioned. But you're thinking about Robbie Avila, who's been phenomenal throughout this college basketball season. But one of the X factors for the Sycamores is starter Jason Kent. He has been a grown man in the NIT. He's averaging 25.5 points, 10 rebounds in the 2 games for Indiana State. But when it comes to this team covering the spread, they're 2-0 in the NIT. But overall, against non-conference teams, they are 8-4. So I'm looking at this Indiana State team knowing that they will have that home court advantage. And again, they want to make sure that the NCAA tourney committee remembers that, yeah, you snubbed us from the tourney, but now we're just going to go out and win the NIT championship. So, Brad, I'm feeling that. So I'm doubling down with the Sycamores to cover that 3.5 point spread.